Well, good evening, all my little fluffs and puffs. Mewtwo with you today, and, well, finally I'm getting around to an MFF report. So, for reasons, this got a little delayed, one of which, the real one being, I did get the COVID. Don't worry, I was fine throughout the con. I started having symptoms Monday night when I got home. But and since I was intending to record this on Tuesday, yeah, that didn't happen. Um, and even though I have been feeling better for a good solid week, like I feel like 100% better at that point, I did not want to put on a fursuit head until I was 100% sure everything was clear, because I didn't want to, germ up the inside of the head and, perpetuate this problem. So anyway, before you get too deep into the woods, please don't forget both my Patreon link and my Ko-fi link in the description box below, both of which are great ways to support me and my channel and help me make better videos for you, my awesome public. Alright, MFF. Short answer, had a great time. Actually enjoyed myself. Do want to do again. Longer answer. I fortunately had taken off Wednesday through Tuesday, so I had a little time before the day before the con, and a day after the day we're driving home from the con to relax. Kind of smart. Glad I worked that in. We left Thursday morning from Fort Wayne to drive up to Chicago. Drive was actually pretty easy. I, this time, plotted my way out ahead of time, double checked where I needed to make sure I made that exit so I didn't end up on the scary road, and casually wombled in up into the hotel. We were in the main hotel this year in the nice wing that was redone this last year. So, yay. It was really, really good to stay on site um, as opposed to one of the other hotels, because it meant fursuiting just happened when it wanted to happen. You could walk out of your hotel room when you wanted to and walk back into it when you wanted to. And that's really useful. Overall, drive was amazing. No issues there. Parking went by fine. Even unloading our stuff out of the car in the parking garage and carrying it up to the hotel room wasn't actually that bad. We did have most of our meals via DoorDash, which is fine and all. It does get kind of pricey though, and we ended up only eating like 2 times a day. Because of that, well, not just because of that, because no time, no. You eat a breakfast, then you kind of forget about lunch, and then evening rolls around. It's like, oh, dinner, let's order something. So that's how life goes. But DoorDash was our friend much of the time. We did once eat at the hotel buffet. We did that Sunday night, and it was also really tasty. The biggest reason we avoided it was because it was breakfast and lunch were $19.95 plus tax. So that's $20 for a breakfast per person. And I'm normally not a big breakfast anyway. I would end up eating a small amount of food, especially if I'm going to be doing something like fursuiting or running around. If I eat a big breakfast, I'm going to need a big couch to sit on for the next hour to break it down. And I need that noise. So DoorDashing Dunkin's was most of the weekend's breakfasts, and I'm not complaining. They make a heck of a good breakfast sandwich on a croissant. Props. That, and I have an excuse to order a large iced coffee, because large iced coffee. Okay, that makes that makes the brain juice run much better. I don't need coffee on a day-to-day basis normally, but on a day off, because I've slept in and I'm trying to avoid taking a midday nap, coffee's a good thing. Uh, Overall, great time. Food, great. All of it great. No real complaints. And roommates were both, our two roommates were people we definitely know. They live around here, Javi and Wild. Wild's the one that got us the hotel room. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for getting us a hotel room in the main hotel, Wild. You're amazing. Um, since we got there on Thursday and registration did open Thursday, whenever it was going to be opening, we went down and started LineCon Part 1. Uh, Now, if I have any complaints about the con, we're starting right here. Um, the vaccine check should have just been referred to as a potential spreader event in and of itself. This could have been dealt with better. Much better, okay? For one thing, there was about 6 or 8 check people at the other end. Cool. It meant that you were the end of the line, often went spurts, but it moved. The biggest problem is you now have the entire registration. Everyone that's going to try and register has to get this giant zigzaggy line, which means you are back and forth going past different people for I think it was a couple of hours. We were totally in line there. It seriously was between that line and the registration line after around 2 hours, I think. Might have been more. It's okay. It's been a bit, but I know it was at least a couple hours. And because you're in such close proximity, even with masks on, if you are continuously in, people are breathing out through the mask. The moisture still eventually does get out. You're effectively standing in a cloud of everyone's whatever they have, be it COVID or any other cold, flu, or whatnot that's going around that they may have brought from where the effing ever in the world they're from. Suggestions. That was a big room. A very big room. Spread it the feck out. Don't make the zigzag so tight. If you're gonna have to, if you insist on a zigzag, spread them out a bit. Make a deadline between each line. Or, more smartly, make it not a zigzag. That way, you have, say, 6 or 8, depending on how many scanner people have at the end, lines just parallel. You stand in a line, the line goes straight forward. It heads towards one particular desk. And your line gets cleared off faster. Everybody wins. Even if it came down to they just had 10 lines wide or something, and they just went, your line goes now, your line gets one, your line gets one, your line gets one. No matter how many people they had at the other end, you could still do this. Furthermore, what was the absolute purpose of having this check before the pick up your badge check? They don't check you before you make registration. You could register and pay for the con before you get to the point of walking up to that desk. And nobody's checked your vaccination status. Just have the person who you're already handing your ID to also take your Vax card or copy or whatever they accept, and have that person do it. Someone complained, oh, that'll add 30 seconds to a person, and that could add an hour to your wait. Well, what was that other hour standing in that death line worth to me then, if you could have that hour occurred here? One line, one issue, not two stupid waits. You could have fixed this problem with one function. And I don't think it would take 30 extra seconds to look at your Vax card. Here's my Vax card. It's got stamps on it from my local Kroger that says I've been vaccinated and boosted. Let me have my registration, please. Done. And no waste of those stupid little wristbands that everyone took off the minute you finally made it through registration, because you now have proof you did succeed. Done. Okay. So that is the biggest complaint about the con. Those two lines. The only other complaint was on Friday, whenever we did decide to go to dealer's room, close to opening time. It again was another spreader event. First, you're going down a long line. That's fine. You're just a single line. And then it goes into another one of those big warehousey rooms. And they set up another effing zigzag. Again. It's just a... And this one, there's no reason it should go slow. I know there's thousands of people trying to get through this line. All they have to see at the end is, badge? Cool. Go. You don't have to, like, pull out your badge and your ID and your Vax card and sign a thing. You're just going, badge? Yep. Cool. Keep walking. Badge? Yep. Cool. Keep walking. How they manage to... Yeah, it slows down the flow of people into the room. Fine. But this seemed unnecessary. It's a big room. Autumn pointed out a very important point. They're already... Are they already paid for this other room? Just expand the dealer's room that much more. And all these people you had standing around wasting space could now be shopping at dealers in these spaces. And there's no wait again. We have doubly fixed the problem. If the problem is badge checkers, just for the opening day, have 4 badge checkers. Or open up both the doors, both the entrance and the exit, temporarily to entrance with badge checkers. I mean, these are easy things to fix. But once all the line cons are out of the way, I'd say then, like, almost every little bit of this con was fun. The dealer's room was really nice. I loved the variety. I loved the space they gave in most of the areas between rows. It seemed big enough, but not waste of space. One thing I love and hate about Anthracon's dealer's room is the big space between the 2 lanes on any dealer's room, the left and the right. It's just far enough you can't easily do the side spec. I'm looking at this side, I'm looking at that side. And it's just big enough that people decide, oh, look, there's a spot. I see this person I haven't seen in 10 years. We're going to stop and have a 10-person conversation in the middle of this area and basically clog up traffic. There was just not enough of that here at MFF. You weren't getting those kinds of problems. Which was actually nice. It was easy to get through the dealer's room. Some of the times I felt like it was close enough that you could do the side spec looking down both sides at a time, and other times we did do the one side or the other side, depending on our mood and whether or not we were actually diligently looking at something on one side for an extended period of time. The variety dealers was great. We did buy a few things. I'm wearing one of them right now. My shiny new Lucario Kigu, which is hecka comfy. Really, really like that. It was a really great buy. I also got a few keychains. I think picked up some stickers. Not too much on the big stuff. We got quite a few t-shirts. Many from T-Turtle that was there that even if they didn't have them in stock, they were honoring all their prices and their con exclusives and shipped them to you for free. So, yeah, I might not have got the 3 shirts I bought from them on con day, but they showed up and perfect. happy. Lots of stuff I wish I could have bought, but, one does not want to go broke to have gone to a furry con. Uh, and after looking at the credit card afterwards, I did realize I actually stayed well within personal budget with keeping things to a good value between all the DoorDash costs and what we did buy. It stayed reasonable. Um, I got a lot of good suiting time between both Bursty and Cherry. I even wore all of the outfits I packed: the yellow and pink princess dress, the Christmas dress, and the French maid outfit. All three of which made it out at least once each. The princess dress, I even went out in just it when I was babysitting the gator, and I just was a princess walking around with my pet gator, and that was cool. I was a good little handler. Good little handler. I actually made it into a group photo shoot for once for a theme, and I just happened to be downstairs in Bursty in the princess dress as the purple fursuit photo shoot was going to be. So I actually made into that. That was awesome. Great to actually participate for once. I'm so bad at that. Timing fursuiting things around when fursuit photo shoots are so not my game. I am bad at that. Um, I was sad that Mewtwo wasn't there to play, but the two suits I brought, I had a lot of fun in. Um, he's definitely the one I have, I think, that gets the most attention out of all my fursuits. Um, he, though, takes up a lot of space in the car. He's probably going to make it to Anthrocon and next MFF, and I will most likely go with either no other suit or either Caddy or Bursty, because they both take up almost no space. And are both really, really easy to get into, whereas Mewtwo, but if I'm wearing him with his front plate, does take someone helping me snap in last minute. And usually, since I'm fast getting in, I then end up getting stuck in the hotel room, sitting there waiting for someone else to finish getting ready. Because, well, I don't have to brush him. He's ready to go. Uh, but lots of suiting time. I was very happy that I got out um, at least once every day in fursuit and had a lot of attention. I got to see so many different suitors from around the world. I was I was really happy to see that Theodore Rabbit, Shadow Raccoon, and Reggie Camera were all actually really, really nice in person. I was so happy to meet them. Um, they were really friendly. I actually did some photos for them for another friend. Tavy was there, and I'm going to get some photos with them as a group. I got to be the facilitator because at the moment I was figures. I was on fursuit. Um, and yeah, it was great to meet them. It was great to meet everyone that I met that I have not met before, and everyone that I have met before. It was good to see you all. I don't feel like I was constricted. Anthrocon, I usually feel the issue of you'll meet someone when you're on transit from your hotel room to the convention space. Oh, hi, it's good to see you. See you. Bye bye. Hi. Oh, we did actually meet. Well, okay, bye. Yeah, that's when you actually meet people, and there's no way to run into people so easily that way. The transit space at MFF is the tunnel of doom between the hotel and the convention center, and you're not meeting people there. You are literally just in the death heat shuffle, making your way out of this problem zone. And you end up meeting people either in the hotel lobby, which is actually very big and has multiple floors where you can hang out, fursuit, wander around, do things. It feels like an actual space. I love that. And if you're over in the convention center area, you have all of the dealer's room to wander around. The other hallways out back towards where the artist alley, whatever they call that, the event space rooms, all of that. There's space to wander around without feeling cramped. And when you're where you are wandering, you're already there. It's not like you're on the hallway traveling between point A and point B. You are already you're wherever you're going to be, and you're just able to hang out and interact if you run into somebody you want to interact with. So, yeah, it was really fun. The the facility, now that I know how the layout actually looks, last year I had no idea when we went what it looked like, so I got lost so many times. Uh, this time I actually knew where I was going. I studied the map ahead of time, and that helped a lot. Uh, the headless lounges are actually really nice, and I'm not just saying that because we were rooming with the guy that was in charge of those things. They're actually really good. No, the water was always full. I never had a problem with that. They were big enough to not feel cramped on either one. In fact, when we were in the one in the convention center, because of its location, um, it was basically empty. Uh, I know this is a complaint that can't be fixed, but yeah, that convention center headless lodge location, it sucks. It's it is you have to march and almost as much as you have to get back to the hotel. You have to do that to get to the headless lounge. So, in and of itself, was a bit of a hassle. Um, but looking at the map of the convention center, I can't find a good solution to this problem. So I don't want to just complain about something that I don't actually have a better answer for. Maybe move the artist alley or dealer's room, artist alley or event spaces down further, and move uh, headless lounge closer to uh, the dealer's room. That's about as good as I can get, but I don't know the logistics of those spaces and how they can easily be morphed. Sometimes convention center spaces can be sized again. I'm not sure if these have dividers that can be moved, etc. That's the best I can come up with. And I know it's not really that helpful, but that, that could improve if there was a way to improve it. Um, heck, just put up some dividers, some uh, dressing barriers over that big empty space that was next to the dealer's room and turn that into a headless lounge. I don't think anybody could complain. Use of space. Again, make use of what you got. Uh, uh, and getting out was actually pretty easy as well. On Monday morning, we easily were able to transit our stuff back from the hotel room down to the car on the second. I parked on the second floor, not the third floor, because I saw a space and I took it. Um, it wasn't that bad. I don't know, better layout of the parking garage. I would probably park closer to where the elevator slash stairs holes are, but I've first time actually being in the main hotel, so I just did my best. Uh, but as long as we end up in one of the hotels, either the main hotel or one of the ones that's right across the street from the convention center, I'm okay with it. I still think we'd have a good time at this convention. I still think we would enjoy ourselves and not have a problem. Uh, on the way to the con, we stopped and got gas at the rest stop right before the hotel's exit. Um, was that the best idea financially? I don't care. Did it fill the car up and mean I could leave on Monday morning and know that I had a full tank of gas and could go way far away from Chicago before I had to fill up the gas tank? Yes. Uh, and interestingly, filled up there on the way in, just before we got to the hotel. And when we got home, we were still over half a tank of gas. So that was pretty darn cool. Um, and on the way home, since we weren't in any way in an anxiety situation about getting to convention, we just didn't stop. We drove the whole 3.5 hours from Chicago to Fort Wayne straight. The only stop I did, I said it super relatively, is we were 2 minutes from home and we stopped at the Arby's to pick up some takeout so we had some lunch. So that I didn't have to deal with cooking after having been driving for 3.5 hours and a weekend of con, which means I'm exhausted. That was the only stop on the way home in 3.5 hours. That is pretty cool. Um, Now, would I recommend MFF? If you can transit to there easily, by all means, I 100% recommend this. Um, if you have to get your flights and things months and months ahead of time, and your time off from work months and months at a time, this might not be the best con for you, because the room lottery is still a thing that can affect your potential fun. And trust me, that is not a pleasant situation where you've already paid for an airfare and you've already requested the time off of work and now you can't go anywhere and, well, you get to sit home and be sad you didn't make it to MFF. Uh, if your schedules are a lot more flexible month to month, um, definitely, 100%. Uh, for the amount of overseas travelers that made it to MFF, I'm actually surprised because if you have to play the room lottery game and you still have to get airfare for overseas travel, that is a feat of magic. I am proud of you for doing so. Anthrocon may have weird room registration things, like the room blocks, and they fill up super quick. But at least, one, you know you get a room. You may not get the room you want, but you know you're getting a room somewhere. Uh, and if you have one of your roommates pay for super sponsor, you have a first chance at many room sections. So we get the hotel we want because one of our roommates pays for the super sponsor and he gets the room for us. Um, but in the very least, there are a ton of hotels in Pittsburgh that are part of that system. So yeah, you may not be in the Westin or the Marriott right next to it, or the ironically named AC Hotel, which is also next to the convention center. I love that. Um, but there's several that are right there next to the convention center. The only one with the sky bridge is the Westin, but I honestly that's the my least favorite hotel to stay at Anthrocon, and the sky bridge is not as convenient due to some structural issues and how they end up matching up with the convention center. That's a long story and a lot of elevators and an extra line to stand in. Uh, but yeah, I had a great time. I do look forward to it next year, hopefully. Um, and I look forward to seeing everyone that I missed. Did I see everyone I wanted to see? No. There were 1,360 some people. 1,300, 13,600 and some people at this convention. That's a lot of people. You're not going to see everyone. It's not possible. Um, that's okay. You'll have seen a lot of people. I'm sure you'll run into at least a good handful of people you knew. Um, and hopefully got to hang out with them and do things. Anyway, yeah, convention was great. COVID sucked, but it wasn't too bad. I healed up pretty quick, and I'm back up in the flare. So yeah, I would say by the end of the weekend after the convention, I was already feeling like near 100%, just with Still trailing cough and blowy nose. Not that big a deal. No loss of taste, no major issues, no major harms. I am not mad at whoever I caught the crud from, because seeing as how it could take a few days before you show symptoms, the fact that I caught it from someone on a Saturday, they, from estimates, they say 2 to 3 days of duration before you show symptoms. So the person who I caught it from on Saturday may not have known they had it yet. Probably had no idea they were even not feeling good. For that matter, they could have got it from someone that they interacted with on Thursday and were then contagious before they even realized they were contagious, or that they had even got anything, and the cycle happens. Even with the masks on, it's not a perfect situation. The mask is to protect the other person, not yourself. Protecting you is kind of like a tiny percent, whereas the protecting everyone else is the main purpose of wearing the mask. And most people were being good about it. And I did my best throughout the entire convention to keep my mask on, even when I was wearing a fursuit, so I was being a good boy. Anyway, I babbled enough here. I hope you enjoyed. MFF was a great time. I'm anxious to do it again. I hope you are too. Anthrocon is right around the corner, and another, well, as I'm recording this, it's Christmas Day. I'll probably upload this Monday after. And yeah, Anthrocon is last week of June into July, and boom, that's 6 months away. Great. Party every day. You young kids are eventually going to start saying, oh my god, the convention is only 6 months between the next convention. That is way too short a period of time to recover. It happens eventually, I promise. You're not going to have the, oh my god, I've been O'Con in 2 months. I'm losing all my freeness. No, 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 no. No, no, bro, you're going to be fine. 6 months will happen, and you got another big one coming up. No, I'm not going to FC. No, I'm not going to FWA, MCFFFM, TMFF, TTE, FMMC, FC. Any of them. Any of those. We're still just probably going to do Anthrocon and MFF this year. So, if you're going to be at either of those cons, this cutie is hopefully going to be showing up both and spending a lot of time out and about. Decision of either Caddy or Bursty as the alternate. I'll make that as time comes. So, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that little dingly bell. Let you know when I post new videos. And of course, leave a comment. Let me know if you were to MFF, enjoyed yourself, saw me. If you got any photos of any of my suits, please share them. I would love to see them. I barely found any, and I was out in suit a lot, so I guess I didn't win the photo lottery. But yeah, keep it real, every fluff. I will see you in the next video. I look forward to getting back to recording. Autumn is off on Monday, so I'll probably start recording again on Tuesday. So this video will come up on Monday, and I will be adding fresh content back into the grinder on Tuesday. So I should get back to hopefully Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos again. So yay! I didn't quite run out, but I got darn close. Thank you, COVID. Anyway, I will see all of you again soon, and stay fluffy, everybody. Stay fluffy.